Hi,
Hello.
I'm Gabriela, and this is Jessica. This is episode 1 of Magical Madams podcast.
Woo!
Why don't you tell everyone how we met?
So, Gabriela and I met when we were working at the Hard Rock Cafe in Philadelphia. I had moved there in December of 2014, and I started working there in January of 2015. And I met Gabriela there. She was a waitress and I was a host. And we just started like talking and vibing. And at one point we started hanging out outside of work. And I was like, oh my God, like she's really cool. She's into the same things I'm into. She has this like witchy, like mystical energy about her. And loop forward to today. And we're doing a podcast.
Yes, that was such a good summary. And our hope for this podcast is to help you better understand you. No matter when you're listening to this, whether it's with what's going on and it's still pandemic, or just anytime someone is like educating themselves on spirituality. And I'm an empath. I'm clairvoyant and clairsentient, and Jessica has many gifts. Tell everyone your gifts.
I'm all the clairs. I am a psychic. I am an intuitive. If I'm gonna categorize myself, I feel like I lean more towards into like light worker energy more so than like witchiness. Like I truly feel like I'm meant to be here to help people and honestly come back to love like that. I got that message a while ago. So yeah.
We are both light workers.
Yes.
But you consider yourself an intuitive psychologist.
I do. So a lot of the work that I do is psychology based. I never went to school for psychology, but it's something that comes very easily to me, very naturally to me. And I incorporate that type of work into the sessions that I do when I do my tarot or when I do my Reiki or when I'm just doing a healing session with somebody. So I do a lot of like intuitive stuff and like helping people pick out their emotions and figure out why they're thinking what they're feeling. And I am able to do that through using my intuition. So it's more so like my intuition leading me into the psychology of things. And it kind of just, it's really easy for me. It comes very naturally to me. So, yeah.
Yeah, so we all know, like, you and I are both here to help the world, and I'm a light worker as well. I actually took psychology 101 in college and 105, which is multicultural psychology.
Uh-huh.
And I can say it's helped, like, knowing that in reference to spirituality, but just, like, in life in general, you have to know. You have to know where we came from, and just, like, I always have my pulse on the zeitgeist, which is the spirit of the times. Like, my degree's in fashion design, but I feel like trend forecasting and fashion is like a gift that I have probably because I'm so in tune spiritually and then just like educated about our history. But you should tell everyone that you have this business and you've been helping people for so long, like through your readings. You're a Reiki Master Healer.
Yeah, so you're so sweet, Gabriela. Tell everybody about your gifts. Tell the world.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I've always been very like into astrology, very into the otherworldly, very into why people are the way they are. And it wasn't up until like 2015, 2016, I really started to dabble into it very, very deeply. And I got attuned to Reiki, and I had been learning tarot for a few years. And in 2017 was when I was like, whoa, okay, like I'm meant to do this. Like I was working these jobs that just were like not meant for me, and I was always kind of like, I feel like something's missing, or I feel like I should be doing something more, I have to be doing something more. And just the way it all kind of fell into place, like I moved back to Philly, like I started my business, and it was just like, oh my God, like it was so clear that when I was doing what I was meant to do, the universe was always going to provide for me, and that is helping people. So my business was kind of like I don't want to say a slow start, but it was more so me, like, I didn't have any business background. I still don't. I still don't really know what I'm doing. I just get really lucky, and by the universe is kind of constantly guiding me and telling me what I need to do, I've always just been like able to find people who need me, or, help people in the way that they need to be helped. But in
So they find
2017,
you and you recognize it. Sorry.
yeah, exactly. Like it's very beautiful in the way that I don't have to exert any effort into what I do, because it's like I'm just doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and the universe is like, oh, well, here's like a bunch of people who need your help, and like that's just it's very beautiful to me. It's like this effortless type of energy and momentum that's constantly going in my business. So yeah, my business kind of took off in 2017, and I have not looked back, and I have been able to be self-employed for 3 years, helping people. I've done over thousands of readings for people with tarot and Reiki, in person, over the phone, Skype, FaceTime, all different walks of life, all different ages. I have international clients. So yeah, I do group sessions as well. I do group Reiki, where it's a bunch of people at once get the Reiki. I do individual sessions. I do like long distance Reiki, which is healing energy. So yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. My spiritual practice is voodoo, but I mean, and that's one of the things I am excited to talk about here. This first podcast is so we can tell everyone about ourselves, so you understand that we are credible and we're here to help. You can always like reach out to us and stuff. But voodoo has a bad reputation because of pop culture and systematic racism. I mean, it definitely plays a part of it, and voodoo really isn't. It's not like I don't put hexes on people, like you said already. We only like, I guess people, if maybe if they just meet us, could say like it's easy to describe someone that they have like a witchy vibe, which like my fashion is like that, but I definitely like you said, like, I mean, I don't really cast spells, but we're obviously okay with whatever your practice is, and that's part of what it is. It's like as you're on your journey to know what works for you and what doesn't. But yeah,
Yeah.
like start out by saying like voodoo doll, like that's really more of a Santeria thing, and it's really when you learn about like Marie Laveau's history, who is like the mother of voodoo, that she gave back to her community, and she was like, because of the time she lived in, she was Catholic too, and so it's fine to integrate more than one aspect into spirituality. I was Orthodox and now
Yeah.
voodoo.
And spirituality has many different facets and aspects and layers to it. So, that's like the beauty of this. I feel, I was talking to a friend about this the other day, like spirituality, it almost is kind of like so jumbled nowadays that like what even is spirituality? Like it just show up as like your authentic self, and like continuously doing that. Like to me, that is what spirituality is. It's so beautiful because there's so many different angles of it, and it's always going to be changing. Like when I first got into this, I was like, oh, like I'm witchy and like I do tarot, and it wasn't up until like very recent that I was like, wait, I'm like, no, like I'm meant to be doing like for me, like my path is like more psychology, more like helping people understand like why they are the way they are, but like with the loving and like nurturing,
Yeah.
and like be attached to it. And for you, it's voodoo, and maybe before it was like, I don't know, empath work, and all of that. So it's really beautiful how it kind of like, it's like just like a snowball effect, like it all kind of molds into itself very beautifully. And like I said, it's effortless. Like all of these changes kind of happen very effortless.
Yes, I agree with what you said, but just to like reiterate, like, the core foundation of spirituality is being in tune with your higher self.
Yes. Oh my
And
goodness. Yeah.
everything you said, like, I think your readings are amazing and you're really good at it. And those are all tools that we have, like tarot and crystals. Like, really, Jessica's the one that got me into crystals. But we were both spiritual before we met, but it's just like, you know, it's a journey. And you're on the right path with your business, like not having a conventional job, is being successful, because that is what you're supposed to be doing.
Yep.
And I didn't know I was an empath when I met you, but I did know I was like clairsentient, clairvoyant, and I would have dreams and it would come true, or deja vu all the time. And it wasn't until we met, we lived in Philly, and I moved back to Baltimore after that. It wasn't until after I had come back to Baltimore in like summer of 2018 that I worked with another Gabriela, and she was like, "Girl, you're an empath." I'm like, I am. Like, oh my God, I looked up what it was, and I was just like, it's, and you know, you don't have to feel bad for not knowing. Like, you find out in your own time, and it's just like what we want to do here is just grow the community, and it's like, you know, everyone deserves to, if you can find people to connect with, it's like that's your coven, like whether you're like witchy or not. And it's like so many people, I mean, we're in this time of isolation where it's like you're on your own, but connection is important too, because right now I don't like that they say it's social distancing, because we have to be physically distant. Like, we're humans and we need hugs, and we need our connections with our friends and our family. Like, we don't have to actually be socially distant, just physical.
Yeah, it takes a toll on the psyche, you know? Like,
Yeah.
we're humans, we're meant to interact, we're meant to have that human connection. When that's like ripped from us without any warning, you know, it can like kind of send people into a tailspin. But hopefully, because you've experienced dark night of the soul, I've experienced dark night of the soul, I feel like the collective is experiencing a dark night of the soul. When that happens, we're forced to like go into hermit mode, and we're forced to, you know, like really figure out, you know, what makes us happy. I think this pandemic has honestly been, aside from all the, you know, the negative, I do feel like it's allowed people to slow down. It's allowed people to, you know, not just live in a constant state of like go, 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 go. You know, but that can also be anxiety inducing and can invoke a sense of fear when we're programmed to just go, 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 go all the time. And with no warning, it's like, okay, we have to shut down. So, you know, that's where being like mindful and connecting with our stillness, like that is one thing that helps me even when I like am struggling with things. And like, just connect with your stillness, you know, because it's there, all the answers, all the, you know, the quietness will be found. So, you know,
The world just need a break.
the world needed a break. Yeah. And I remember in like the beginning, you know, people were saying how like the pollution really died down and, you know, a lot of countries and stuff, and just a lot of like, you know, positives are coming from it. But, you know, it's just like with any positive, there's always going to be a negative. You know, more people are, you know, there's a lot of fear-based energy going around right now. And that's something I've noticed within myself, trying to, these past few months, like
6 months
self-awareness.
now.
Yeah. Wait, what? How long?
6 months.
6?
Yeah, I mean, because it really did start in January. It's just July now, but like the fear energy definitely started by February.
God, it's just been like, what have I been saying? Like, discernment with self and emotions is like, it's key right now, because the energy of fear can just like succumb any human, and can really take a toll on the psyche, like I said. So really like needing to be aware of like, is this mine? Is this not mine? Checking in with self, like tuning in with self. Maybe that's just like a 10-minute like calming down meditation, or like chatting with a friend. You know, everybody has their own ways of like sorting through their anxiety, or, you know, calming down. And I think that's really key right now. Like, what calms me down? what is mine, what isn't mine, and how can I become empowered through this. You know, that's something I've been really learning and trying to work on the past few months, you know.
Yeah, definitely. With when you mentioned like the dark night of the soul, I think that you said like we've both been through that ours was not necessarily this pandemic. I think that we were disposed, that we were ready, not that we could have predicted this, but that our dark nights happened before other people's. Like with me, my house burned down, and you know, I mean, we don't have to go into our biographies, but like that we, you know, and that we know that this is not our first lives. We are old souls, and that you know that when you meet someone. And if maybe if this is your first life and you don't feel like you're an old soul, that's fine. But that's our context of like why we were like, okay. And I am thriving in this. I know it sounds hard to say, but just from being like an essential worker, I'm lucky that I still get to work and stuff. But that I felt like I needed the break, but it's like when things are normal, you know that you can't take that break because the bills are still gonna come in and stuff. And that I do feel like other people that maybe have had normal jobs that they get to work from and stuff realized that they needed to and did enjoy this time. Everyone could be with their families more, but we just like what I think is happening is that they're processing. They're like, okay, that was a big change that everything just shut down, and then they're processing the change that it's still. The change is that you have to realize it's not just going to be here. It's going to be like this for a couple years, and that people can't really handle it. But it's like you have to be good, y'all. Like wear your mask and so, like stay 6 feet apart. Like stay inside if you can avoid going out. Like just don't be around big crowds because the better we behave, the sooner we can get back to normal, but it'll never be normal for a lot of industries.
That is a pipe dream. I think mental strength is so important right now. I will choose mental strength over emotional or physical strength any day because the power of your mind controls everything else. So doing things that help make you feel mentally empowered, and sometimes that can be triggering because our own mind is oftentimes our own worst enemy. So really trying to find, muster up, cultivate, and even understand what it means to have mental strength, I think is something a lot of people should be focusing on right now, you know, and there's so many other distractions going on, like just the media, the news, like that can just make you mentally weak, quite honestly, if you feed too much into that. But discernment is key. You know, I said this the other day. I'm like, you can't just read like a Facebook post and assume it's true. You can't just read like an article and assume it's true. This is what I'm saying with like discernment of energy. Like, does it resonate with me? Does this feel good to me? Like, what is my soul saying? So.
And why is your soul telling you to be a troll on Facebook? If that's what you know, but like before I forget, like the world does need more empaths, and I've heard a lot of other spiritual people in the community say so even before like the pandemic happened. But we think about the election. I mean, like people who like maybe don't want to vote for Biden, like think about it as like you're voting for Ruth Bader Ginsburg's replacement. Like, what if she doesn't want to stay like for 4 more years? Like, he's already put in a lot of judges federally, but like, and he's got some Supreme Court judges. So like, it's more than just saying like, even if he wins, like he'll be out of there eventually. Because no, eventually, like Pence is gonna get his shot. He's been playing the long game. Not to make this all about politics, but this is real life, and we can use our spirituality to help with the election, as well as actually getting people registered to vote and all the things we're supposed to do in the physical world. But like, we have to combat the evil because it has the lid has been opened of Pandora's box as far as people really seeing the evils. Because I mean, everything needs to change. Like we're here, Black Lives Matter, Black trans lives matter. like the women's liberation movement still isn't over. Like I'm a feminist. We still don't have equal pay. And like, you know, we want to put that out there that like, if your racism isn't the place for you, just stay. Just, you know, be gone with that. But we're gonna like put these on YouTube, and we're making a Patreon. So if you find us here on YouTube, then like follow us on Instagram and Twitter for MADAMS.
Yay!
Yeah. But what time is it? Are you good for a little while?
Yeah, I'm good for like the next 5 minutes.
Yeah. So, I mean, what we want to do is talk to you guys as often as we can, and sometimes episodes be about specific things. Like, I want to talk about my favorite crystal, moldavite. I have this book here.
Ooh!
It's like, it's a meteor that fell from Earth. Like, I just think it's the
book
coolest
on
crystal.
moldavite?
It is a book. Yes. And some people really believe that like moldavite can cure cancer, but like it really, if it's a stone that you need, you know, when you pick it up, it has made many people like their hands or arms just like tingly, like really just like feel it, and your life is just like better when you like wear it or whatever. And other things like what else?
Reiki is really good for that crystal work. I've been really getting into light language. Like, oh my, I'm literally obsessed with it. I like watched like 3 YouTube videos in a row. I listen, like after this, go watch like a light language video on YouTube. It's extremely fascinating. It's something I feel like I want to start doing for like my clients. I definitely need to like study it more and, you know, like do it on like close friends and family. But what it is essentially you speak in like a different language, and it can just be kind of like noises, or it kind of almost sounds like whatever you would assume like an alien would sound like. It's probably going to sound like light language, and it's because it comes from higher streams of consciousness. And what these people do who can channel light language is they can clear like certain things. Like I watched a video earlier on like getting rid of like the heavy energy you picked up from like social media and like chemtrails. And then I watched like another one for like clearing your heart chakra, and they have one for like removing blockages to abundance, or like removing like negative entities in your home. Like it's amazing. And yeah, I really, light language is something that like is very much so calling to me, especially I feel like I don't know if you've been feeling this, like a lot of throat chakra and like solar plexus work, like taking
I've been wearing more turquoise.
See, there we go. I don't know. I think it could also be a collective energy where it's like we're not afraid to use our voice. We're not afraid to speak up. You know, that confidence.
I'm pretty ready.
Yeah, you know,
I've had some racist people come at me.
Yeah.
But I would like to learn more about it. And like we want to hear like what are your spiritual things that help you, or like other people in the community, because like I would share that I like, there's another podcaster here in Baltimore. It's called A Little Juju Podcast.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. And she's obviously voodoo. Like voodoo is like a term for like a good luck thing. Like you have a gree bag, GRIS, a gree bag that has like your lucky crystals or whatever coins that you keep on your person just to have it with you all the time. And it's like you don't even realize that that's what a gree bag is when you see them. They're sold in every crystal shop. Like that's a voodoo concept. But another podcast is That Feminist Witch. She's in Canada. And then yeah, like we are here to help, and I'm glad to like do this with you.
Me too. I'm very excited to come up with new ideas and talk about what interests us and give our peace of mind and what we're knowledgeable on, and become even more knowledgeable through each other. And yeah, just use like what's happened to us, our experiences, our life, to maybe shed some light, shed some good. a random tip to whoever chooses to listen. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. And I guess we are leading by examples because we live it. I mean, we really do manifest things.
Oh my goodness.
And
like literally when I say like I'm a living testament to the work I do, and you are too, like it's, there's so many people who are out here like claiming to do the work when like the work speaks for itself. Like if I can't even recognize who I was like 3 days ago, you're doing something right. Like that's just, especially with the way like time has been moving, Earth's consciousness is like shifting at rates we have never seen before. I don't even know if we will see it at this speed again, but there's so much going on. Just like hang in there, everybody. We're gonna be okay.
yeah, because the planets are aligned right now. And
Yeah.
we're in Mercury retrograde. We can't wait for it to be over. We were talking before on the phone about how exhausted we've been and just needing to like take a downtime week of like, it's okay. It's part of self-care because like we can't be fighting like with an empty cup. It's like, yes, we got to go to the protest. Yes, we have to do everything that we can do and not get too comfortable. Like, don't sleep on the evil because like they're not going to stop out there like doing racist shit and trying to like take away abortion. So I mean, so it's like it's all part of it. Like, so we're gonna talk about spirituality, tarot,
astrology,
astrology. Yes, and oh my God, I'll have to look back in my Instagram save things to find the exact thing, but it was like all the planets are in line. I think I posted it in like March on my story, but like it hasn't been like this since like the Great Depression, and like it's like Aries is in something, or because all these planets are in line, it's a time of change, and the last time it was like this was like in the 20s. It was like during the Great Depression, the First World War happened, and all these big changes were made from it, and even though like we knew that this time would come again eventually in this year, but we didn't know that what would coincide with it would be like even more major changes than what happened in the Great Depression.
Yeah, it's all very interesting.
People are
excited to see what happens.
Yeah.
All right, Gabriela.
All right. Till next time.
Till next time. I look forward to it.
Thanks for watching us.
All right.
Bye.